So is now a time? Is it the time to buy a home? Well, the answer is yes or no. The answer is it depends. Let's talk about the market and when it's a good time to buy a home. Hello, my name is Dana Pollard and I'm a real estate agent in Texas, and I've been on the hunt to find the best cities and towns and neighborhoods for you to move. So if you're looking at buying a home in Texas, fill out my dream home questionnaire in the link below and get connected with a buyer specialist, experienced, very, very good. Get connected and schedule a one-on-one Zoom consultation, okay? And if you're looking at selling a home in Texas, fill out my Sell My Home questionnaire in the link below. And if you need a great referral agent in your city, I got the hookup and I vet every single one out. I don't like working with people that ain't good. Just saying. So anyway, let's get on with the video. Let's talk about, is now a good time to buy a home? Well, what we have to do is we have to assess the situation, right? What's your situation? Do you have a job relocation? Are you a move-up buyer? Maybe a downsize buyer? Maybe you're just tired of renting. And so all of those are really good reasons to purchase a home, okay? In the world of real estate and as agents, not only that, but I've purchased investment property. I've been in real estate for since I was 18. Was I 18? No, I was 20 years old when I bought my first property. So I've been in real estate a long time, both personally as well as professionally. And how we see it is we look at it on a continuum. So yes, the market goes up, the market goes down, but it's not going sideways up and down. It's going up and down like this. And so in the real estate arena, we know the market's going to go down at some point, but it always long-term goes up. And so it's always a great investment. In fact, if you purchase real estate, you can hang on to it for 15 or 20 years. You can become very wealthy in doing that. So even if you buy at the peak and then it goes down, it's really not the peak. It's going to go back up. So in that way, I'm never afraid of purchasing real estate as long as it makes sense. Now, it may not make sense for you. The reasons you do not want to buy real estate is if you're trying to move up and you're going to maximize your budget, I do not recommend that. Of course, I'd never recommend maximizing your budget when purchasing a home unless you know you're making more money currently. Like if you're self-employed and you make more money now than you did last year. But just be a little conservative, okay? That's always my advice. Be conservative because that will protect you against economic downturns, not just real estate, So project where your business or the company that you work for, project where it's going. Just don't be caught off guard and buy thinking that good times last forever, because good times don't last forever, but bad times don't last forever either. The next question we want to ask is, how long are you going to stay in the home? How long do you plan on being there? And if it's at least 3 years, then I feel comfortable purchasing a home. The longer you're in the home, the more time you have to wait out that market correction, okay? And so especially if you think you're gonna be there 10 years or more, or what we do is we like to buy our single family residence and then we like to be the move up buyer and then rent the previous home out. And so rental property is always a great idea. And so assess how long you're going to be in the property. I think gone are the days where you buy a property and then in 1 year you just made 50 grand, okay? Or even more. We had some buyers purchase and they made 150,000 when they sold in like less than 6 months. Gone are those days, okay? Those days I don't think are right now. So don't plan on that anymore, but plan on 3 years or more. Next, if you are renting, compare what your rent is going to be against a mortgage. I know that some people like to have 20% down, and I do prefer 20% down when purchasing a single family, a primary residence, but always compare what it's going to be to rent and to buy. It's always great to buy even if you only have, say, 5% down, because you really are buying an asset that long-term appreciates. And while comparing, then we have to talk about interest rates. Yes, interest rates are going up. The government is intentionally doing that to slow the market down because they're trying to control inflation. Now, this will not last forever, but it will last until people stop spending money. When we have discretionary money to spend, we like to go out to eat, we like to do things. And so the government is intentionally trying to slow inflation down. Interest rates really is all about perspective. And I purchased my first home at 8.25%. Didn't think that was a big deal. I was just so happy to get a home. And I don't regret that purchase today, by the way. And when the interest rates lowered to 6.25%, I refinanced my home. So in that, I'm not super terrified of high interest rates. I'm more concerned about the budget. What number makes sense to, again, if it's a primary residence, what number makes sense with your monthly budget, and don't overextend yourself. But do compare rental rates because they have gone up significantly this past year and 2 years. And don't assume that it's cheaper to rent. It depends really where you live. Or maybe it'd be worth it to move out a little further and own versus renting closer. It's really your motivation, right? So is it a good time to buy a home? Well, again, it depends on your situation. The biggest factor is how long you're going to be in that home. And the other biggest factor, maybe there's two biggest factors, is your budget and staying within a comfortable budget. Okay, so if you have those two that are lining up, then it's always a good time to buy real estate. If they don't line up or you think you're going to move in a year or two, I wouldn't recommend buying yet. Okay. And would I wait until I always say the best time to buy a home is when school is starting. Now that may not fit your timeline and that's okay. But the best time to buy a home is usually the end of July, August, and September. And then it starts picking up usually September, October. I do think this year is going to be a little different. I think that the news media, everyone's going to think the sky is falling. And so that's probably going to be your best time to purchase is when everyone is saying the sky is falling, okay? That's my opinion because I lived through the market crash of 2008. I wish I would have bought more property in 2008, 2009, 2010. Don't we all? So if you have any questions or concerns, put them in the comments below and I'm happy to respond. Also, my email's below. And if you're looking at buying or selling a home in Texas, fill out the appropriate questionnaire in the link below.